Okay, in this station, we're going to see the kidneys in situ. In order to reach them, we have to elevate the greater omentum and reflect it superiorly, okay, from the lower border of the greater curvature of the stomach, okay, reflecting it upwards. Then we should reflect the cols of the small intestine also upwards, together with the ascending and transverse colon. Okay, here the kidneys lie in the posterior abdominal wall in a retroperitoneal position. Okay, each kidney is composed of an upper pole, a lower pole, anterior convex surface, which is smooth. However, it might show some traces of lobulation, and somewhat a flattened posterior surface. Okay, the right kidney lies at a lower level, slight lower level than the left kidney. The hilum of the right kidney lies just below the transpyloric plane, while that of the left kidney lies just above the transpyloric plane. Okay, the hilum faces medially, through which vessels pass through and out of the substance of the kidney. Okay, the upper poles of both kidneys, the upper pole of the right kidney overlaps the 12th rib, and the upper pole of the left kidney lies at a lower level, overlying the left 11th rib. On the top of the upper poles of the kidneys are the superbinary glands. This is the right superbinary gland, and here is the left one. That's not visible here. Okay. The long axis of the kidney does not assume a straight position in the posterior abdominal wall. Its long axis lies parallel to that of this muscle, which is the psoas major muscle. Okay, now here is the kidney outside the body. This is the upper border, or the upper pole. This is the lower pole. This is the medial surface showing the hilum. Okay, and this is the lateral convex border. Okay, in fact, the kidney is surrounded by dense collagenous irregular connective tissue of the collagenous type, and this is known as the renal capsule. Outside or external to the renal capsule is a layer of fat. Here are traces or remnants of this fat that is known as the perinephric fat. And external to this fat, there is irregular connective tissue. Here are some remnants of it, which is known as the fascia of Gerota. This is an irregular connective tissue. Okay? So, let's see the structures that pass through the hilum into and out of the surface, into and out of the substance of the kidney. The most anterior structure is the vein, or the renal vein. Posterior to the renal vein is the renal artery, and the most posterior structure in the hilum is the renal pelvis, okay, which is directed downwards. Okay, here the renal artery is seen to divide before entering the substance of the kidney into anterior branch, which passes further anterior to the tributaries of the renal vein, and a posterior branch which passes posteriorly, and this is evident here. Okay, this is the posterior branch. Okay, so in order to see or to study the internal structure of the kidney, we have to make an exact longitudinal slit passing through the hilum of the kidney. Okay, this is the splitted specimen. Okay, in the inner surface, we can say an outer, this brighter color, which is known as the cortex, or the renal cortex. Okay, this renal cortex extends downwards towards the hilum between darker triangular areas. The parts of the cortex that extend downward between these darker areas are known as the renal columns. Okay, while the darker areas are known as the renal pyramids of the medulla. The renal pyramids, each renal pyramid has got its base alongside the cortex and its apex directed medially towards the renal pelvis, and each apex of the renal pyramids open into a papilla. Okay, the papilla leads downwards into the minor calyx. Okay, this is the minor calyx, and several minor calyxes unite in order to form major calyx. Okay, this is the major calyx, and forming about 2 to 3 major calyxes that finally open into the renal pelvis. Here are the major calyxes that open into the renal pelvis. Okay, that's all. In order to appreciate or to differentiate between the right and the left kidneys, is to place the flattened posterior surface on the palm, okay, and the hilum being located medially and this convex surface laterally, taking in mind that the renal pelvis is the most posterior structure, passing downwards, and the most anterior is the vein, and the most posterior to the vein is the artery.